I want to talk to you guys about why I chose the Huber Concepts two-stage trigger for my custom Remington 700. Now, I want you to understand, I've tried all the triggers out there, the Jewel trigger, the Timony trigger, in fact, many Timony triggers, which then were further modified by gunsmiths to get the most precise trigger break and everything out of them to get the best shooting and precision. And the thing that I found is, going back to the original Remington X Mark Pro trigger in my 5R, was that the gun wouldn't really fire when I wanted it to, when I was on target, or in the precise part of the target, shall we say. And so I was finding myself not getting the best groups or the most accuracy out of what the rifle should, which is sub half inch, out to even 300 meters. And so what I decided to do is buy the Huber Concepts two-stage trigger and invest in my rifle so that not only could I get the best precision for 1,000-yard match and beyond, but also get the best precision for both hunting and other target shooting for deer and elk and shooting steel and all that kind of stuff. And the thing that I found as using both factory ammo and hand loading is just making the one switch to the Huber Concepts two-stage trigger for my 700 made the difference. And the reason is because what Huber Concepts has done has created this two-stage trigger where you actually know every single time when you pull the trigger when that gun's going to fire exactly where you have your crosshair. And so with the two-stage, the thing to understand is you're not pulling from zero. People think, oh, you're pulling all the way from zero, and that's really not true. In the two-stage, you're pulling, in my case, it's a 2.5-pound trigger is what I chose. So you're pulling up a little bit of the weight, and then you can actually feel and tell where that braking wall is. And this is the key with his triggers, as opposed to Jewel and Tim and all other triggers. You're just simply laying on the trigger, pulling back, and your trigger finger can sense the tactileness and the sensation compared with the Huber trigger compared to the triggers. I mean, I'm telling you, it's something you have to experience for yourself, but literally, every time when you pull the trigger when the Huber trigger is going to fire. In fact, you actually know where the braking moment is of that trigger with the Huber trigger itself. Guys, and this is the key, because as you're shooting offhand standing, you're moving around, you're trying to stay on target, or even if you're prone or shooting from a sandbag or off the bench, you're still moving a little bit up and down, maybe a little left to right, depending upon, the type of bag or bipod you're using, or your breath work, or any number of things, as you know. The thing I'll tell you that the Huber Concepts trigger has done for me is I know when the gun's going to go off. So when I want that perfect 10 ring, or I want to put a headshot on steel at 500 or 600 meters, I can do it every single time because I know when that trigger is going to fire. It's just that simple.